Hey everybody, welcome to episode 179 of Cheap Comic Collector. Today we're doing a What Am I Reading episode. I read these the other day, and it's taken me a couple days to get back into them, and I've had a lot going on, so I may need to remind myself a little bit of what happened in each issue, but we've got Reggie's Wise Guy Jokes from Archie, 1972, number 20. Kazar, number 4 from 1974. And from DC in 1976, we got Justice League of America 136. And the very last Convergence episode, finally, World's Finest, the 1 and 2 series, a little mini series that they did. I was looking forward to this one because it features Scribbly on the cover, one of my I wouldn't say he's a favorite character, but I always enjoyed the original ones of him done by Sheldon Mayer. And interesting note about Scribbly is he didn't actually start at DC Comics, even though everybody considers him owned by DC Comics today. Sheldon Mayer actually created him, I believe it was when he was at Dell Comics in the very early days when comics were just first getting started before he left to for DC. He actually there were some episodes of Scribbly in Dell Comics. I forget which series I found him in at the moment, but that's true. That's true. And so anyway, World's Finest Convergence from 2015, and this whole thing is narrated by Scribbly. He's a reporter. This is just kind of show him how Superman inspired him to become an artist. He's drawn here in the sidewalk of, I guess you would call it his updated origin, or his origin for this universe, or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, he works on a newspaper. And let's see, this was written by Paul Leibowitz, penciled by Jim Fern, inks by Joe Rubinstein. So, A-list team of creators there. Art is great. Story is fine. And a bunch of cameos from characters you don't see very often. The 7 Soldiers of Victory are in this. And he's working as a reporter at a newspaper. And he's also a cartoonist for the newspaper. And so he's reporting on them all being basically, they get trapped under the dome, and the Shining Knight's there, the Crimson Avengers there, Vigilante's there on the motorcycle. He has to stop a charging rhino. And Green Arrow and Speedy actually get killed. because Shining Knight is busy saving Scribbly instead of them. So yeah, then the dome comes down, and Shining Knight turns old because he's lost his powers, and then it goes into a narrative of what's going on with the different heroes and stuff from Scribbly's point of view. And he's visiting Sir Justin years later, still doing his cartooning, and then Sir Justin gets his powers back. The challenge is issued, and so he goes along with the Shining Knight, and this is a little bit different because the what's his name, Talos, actually talks to them individually, telling them what's at stake instead of just his big announcement. They actually talk back and forth with him a little bit, so that's a little bit different than the other ones. And then in issue number 2, they find out they're getting attacked by the what are they called? The Weaponers of Cord, or whatever, something like that. And Crimson Avenger and Vigilante are doing the best they can. They're basically, they think they're the only 2 left of the 7 Soldiers of Victory. Never really goes into what happened to all the other superheroes they had talked about. But Anyway, Sir Justin has his powers back, so he joins in battle too. And there's just a lot of fighting. Basically, the soldiers are 7 soldiers are outnumbered, so they're going to lose. Is the basic thought process, and then Talos actually shouts that he's seen enough and stops the battle, and then returns the Shining Knight and Scribbly back to their universe, and it shows, and then this is basically a speculation of what might happen as written by Scribbly in the newspaper, and that's pretty much it. It's just it was well written, it was good. Didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. Thought it would be more humorous with Scribbly being the featured character, but it wasn't. So, but it was good. I enjoyed it. Then we got Reggie's Wise Guy Jokes 1972, number 20. It's a giant size, 25-cent cover. And interesting note on the cover, Jughead is reading Josie Comics. And this is pretty much like the Jughead's jokes that we reviewed a few episodes ago, except this is Reggie, all based on Reggie instead of being based on Jughead. So this was published quarterly, came out 4 times a year, and it's basically the same concept. You've got one-page gags, half-page gags. Here's Reggie's Strange Facts, which is kind of a takeoff on like a Ripley's Believe It or Not strip. They're just really corny jokes. They're not that good. This was actually the most interesting thing in the article was this toy ad, because I'd never seen these before. The Wonderful Wacky Way Out World of the Dingalings, and and this is King Ding, some kind of robot toy created by Topper Toys, which never heard of the company, never heard of the toys, but they look cool. So that was kind of interesting. And there's another toy ad from the same company for dolls, basically their version of Barbie, it appears, called Dawn. And so those the couple interesting toy ads. There's an offer for Christmas issues of Archie Comics. The jokes are just not that interesting. There was a Little Jinx one-pager, but most of it's just very, very, very silly. Not particularly funny. And I kind of went. There's another Little Jinx half-pager there. Even those weren't that great. And Archie Club News, it's just very kind of boring, quite honestly. I don't know how these ones with the one-page gags really lasted for a series as long as they did. I can understand them, when they have the filler issues with the one-page gags just taking up some room in like Pep Comics and Archie Comics and stuff like that. But to do a whole issue of them is just kind of just not that interesting. Sorry. I put that in the wrong bag. I'll take care of the bagging later. Next up, we have Kazar number 4 from 1974. So this was pretty good. Check out that cover. Nice cover. This is, cover done by Frank Brunner. No wonder it's a great cover. Yeah, fantastic art. I just, like I said before, in the 70s, Marvel was on fire, man. They did not have bad artists working for them. They did not have bad writers working for them. They were just amazing. So Into the Shadows of Chaos. This is issue number 4. It says it was blotted by Bullpen West, whatever that means. Written by Mike Friedrich. Art by Don Heck. Ink by Mark Royer. And edited by Roy Thomas. And so, yeah, Khazar and Zabu are in the Savage Land, and Bobby Morse, Agent 13 of, or no, she wasn't Agent 13, I'm sorry. Bobby Morse, who at this time was a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent before she became Mockingbird, has been captured by El Tiger, something like that. And so Xar and Zabu rush in to save him. This guy is able to control Zabu a little bit. But Khazar has basically, if Khazar is unconscious, the guy can control Zabu for some reason through the power of his mind. So, and this series appears they keep referring to stuff that happened in Astonishing Tales. So I believe this Khazar series spun out of the Astonishing Tales series. When they changed features, they probably put Khazar into his own book. And so Khazar gets captured, and and there's like a one-page thing here in the middle of Khazar's lair, saying that he basically lives in a cave and they don't know what's in all the mysterious caverns and dark corners of the tunnel system. So, and then in part 2, he's captured, his friend is captured, and there is a Mighty Marvel checklist with a letters page, and unfortunately, this one's missing the Marvel value stamp, so not quite complete. Bullpen bulletins page. And so Khazar wakes up, he's kind of stalling for time, and by telling this guy, the guy's telling him that he's got like a pile of vibranium somewhere, and so this guy's trying to get out of him where the vibranium is, but Khazar's just stalling. And then this guy, El Tiger, somehow he's able to use his mind powers to communicate with everyone in the world, and basically is a terrorist. And if they don't meet his demands, then things are going to happen. Nick Fury puts in a brief appearance, and that's pretty much it. Khazar does get loose. There's another bullpen bonus page that talks about some convention or something that's coming up, and Khazar and Zabu do get loose, and then he's thinking about vibranium. Why would anybody want? So he's going after El Tiger, who isn't in the same place where the other guy was interrogating him, and this guy hates Khazar because he, I guess, destroyed or helped destroy his man-ape tribe, and so Khazar gets there just as he's bringing his man-ape tribe back to life, and that's the end of the issue. So quite a cliffhanger. Great issue, a lot of fun to read. Just great Marvel 70s books. And then lastly, we have Justice League of America 136 from 1976. I used to have this issue. I got this originally. I got this when I was a kid in Arizona at a rummage sale. We were on vacation, sort of visiting a relative, and went to a rummage sale. And my mom, this guy had a bunch of great old comics, and I think they were 25 cents a piece. My mom would only let me get one. So this is the one I picked out after spending a very long time looking through them. But this is Crisis on Earth S, and it's in the middle of an ongoing story. But you have characters from Earth S, Earth 2, and Earth 1. So you got Batman and Robin from Earth 2, Hawkman, Hawkgirl from Earth 1, and then Bulletman, Bulletgirl, Mr. Scarlet, and Pinky from Earth S. And they are trying to figure out what's going on because there's just strange things going on. King Kull is creating havoc. They don't really know what's going on other than King Kull is somehow behind it all. You got people near a volcano that's turning to lava stone. I remember this scene from when I had it as a kid with the hawks and the bullet man and bullet girl flying through the air, just warning people. I don't know why that's the scene that stuck in my head, but it did. Looking for credits. I don't see any credits right off the bat here. So anyway, it cuts to Billy Batson, who is making announcements over the radio about what's going on with inanimate things coming to life and people turning to, like the volcano came to life, but the people turned into volcano rock, and he can't turn into Captain Marvel. There's a Green Lantern fruit pie ad and a pretty cool DC line of superstars ad with Cobra, Teen Titans, Detective Comics, Super Friends, and Welcome Back Kotter. And so anyway, then it's we're on. It says it's chapter 4 already, so each chapter must only be a couple pages. But Batman, Robin, Scarlet, Mr. Scarlet, and Pinky are, and I don't know anything about Mr. Scarlet and Pinky other than their names. But I guess they're kind of detectives in the Batman Robin vein. And they have the Joker and the Weeper that they're after. The Weeper, it says, was an old Bullet Man villain. And so I looked it up. I stopped reading it and I looked it up, and that's true. He isn't made up for this comic. He was a Bullet Man villain back in the Golden Age. So anyway, the same thing as the lava kind of thing. They're robbing a jewelry store. The jewels come to life and run away, and the people that were in the jewelry store turn into basically diamonds. Excuse me, I have to sneeze. There we go. So Joker. So they confront Joker. They actually track him down. They're able to track the living gems to the Joker's hideout, and they punch them out. And then they consult with this police scientist who's actually Bullet Man in his secret identity. And meanwhile, King Kull's watching everything on his whatever he's watching on prism glass or something. And then they come up with Dr. Light and Shade as potential villains. And so the Flyers take off to go try and take care of them. And there's a CBS Saturday Morning ad once again. This one's a little bit different, but a lot of the same shows. Sylvester and Tweety, Bugs Bunny Roadrunner Hour, Tarzan, Shazam Isis Hour, Arc 2, and Clue Club, which I had forgotten about Clue Club. I think I watched a few episodes of that. Don't really remember much about it other than the name. And Fat Albert, and then it goes into a couple live action shows, Way Out Games, and Children's Film Festival or something. And then it's back to chapter 5, where so the Flyers are after the Shade, and he runs into this museum where the paintings are coming to life, and the people are becoming the paintings. A lot of stuff had going on in this issue. This whole issue would have been like a 6-part miniseries in nowadays. So yeah, Dr. Light, there's some kind of water thing where there's hands coming out of the water, and it's going to be continued. It's continued into the next issue. It's got there shows actually Shazam at the Rock of Eternity, not Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel and Shazam, unlike modern times, are two different people, characters. And then Johnny Thunder shows up in the last panel, and it's continued. And so that it was good. It was good. I liked it. So that's it. Let's see what we ended up with. We got Reggie's Jokes, Convergence, Kazar, Justice League. I'm gonna go with Kazar as the best issue. Justice League, then World's Finest, then Reggie's Wise Guy Jokes, which was pretty much a dud for me. So there you have it. Thanks for watching. Tomorrow, we're finally gonna get into a little bit of the comics hauls that I've had sitting here for a little bit. It'll be a while before we get into another box, but yeah, I've got a haul to show you tomorrow that I ordered from a company because I wanted to get the some of the new facsimiles. So I found a place to order them online, and they had free shipping if I ordered a certain dollar amount, and they had dollar comics. So I loaded up on some dollar comics to get to the free shipping as well as the facsimiles. So we'll take a look at that tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Oh, before we go, I wanted to show you this stack of Convergence books. This is the, sitting on top of the trade piles is the back of the whole entire Convergence series. So it's the entire mini-series and all of the 2-issue mini-series. And there was a lot of them. That's a lot of issues. So I am finally done reading that, thank goodness. And I can only imagine if somebody was following this, how much money they must have spent over that summer to get all of these issues. That would have been crazy. So anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and God bless you.